here, as always. Got my good pal Liam, my good pal Heb, and we're trying out a new format this time. Side-by-side Discord view. I'm Dave.
I'm not expert.
Yeah. I don't. So yeah, that is what we do here, and...
Wait. I didn't fucking record.
God!
Did you guys know that McDonald's is bringing back the Szechuan sauce? But this time they're doing it right, because they learned from last time where they had those riots. They had the McDonald's Szechuan sauce riots. Yeah, exactly. So they learned from their mistake, and now they're going to ship 20 million packets of the sauce per month.
Dude, it's just
I think starting
shitty
next
soy
month.
sauce.
That's
all it is.
Szechuan.
There were riots. There were riots, Dave. Okay, we're trying to save lives here.
Have you ever seen the videos?
Oh, I did.
Oh my god.
They were so bad.
We are just trying to save lives.
They were almost as bad as when people saw that Trump got elected president. Those
Why? Why? I love watching those triggered people just... Like, it's the end of the world. But yeah.
Not yet.
I did not know that they were bringing it back for a second time.
Oh yeah.
I will avoid McDonald's because it's gonna happen
like
again.
The fucking plague.
Szechuan apocalypse.
I go to Sonic anyway. They have better burgers.
Oh, they did say that the employees are freaking out. They do not want this at all.
Well, yeah,
They're
because it's
like...
the employees that are having the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah. And of course, Justin Roiland, creator of Rick and Morty, came out again and said he has nothing to do with this and is not happy about it. So, there's that. But you gotta have a very high IQ to understand Szechuan sauce.
You don't even say it right. Szechuan sauce.
I have no idea how you say it.
It's
Szechuan sauce.
Szechuan.
You'll figure it out. So yeah, duck and cover. Get inside your bunker. This is a weekly shitpost reminder to stay safe at McDonald's.
Stay away from McDonald's.
Oh.
And then we have something slightly more gaming related, but still kind of out there.
It either is or it isn't.
Well, let me just share my screen here, and you can see what I'm looking at.
Dude, if hardcore gay porn comes up, I don't want.
No,
it's even worse.
Yes.
Oh
Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Oh God, no.
Set for release.
We don't need this.
No, and let me tell you.
I've given up.
Oh shit!
I've given up hope.
How do I go back to my thing? Let me tell you something else. It's live action. You motherfuckers thought it couldn't get any worse. It's gonna be a live action Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
A live? How does that even work?
Mark your calendars, folks.
Gotta go fast.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
No.
That's no good.
I can tell Dunn is very excited.
Oh my god. Kill me now.
Yeah.
On better news.
No words.
Oh no.
Can't.
So, is this what we've come to?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and that's not even...
Szechuan
that's
sauce.
Not even the worst.
And fucking Sonic movie.
Sonic the movie.
Kill me.
Brought to you by McDonald's.
Kill me, please.
That's not even the worst live-action movie that's coming out. I mean, I think they released a live-action Full Metal Alchemist like last month.
They did.
It was just
I haven't seen that.
It was the most cringe-worthy shit.
It was released.
You don't want that in
Japan like last year, so it was a Japanese audience that it was for.
I know the Death Note one was
Yeah, but even
fucking
then,
garbage.
like if you watch the two Attack on Titan live action movies, those were both really fucking good, and they were both for a Japanese
Really?
audience.
I heard they were bad.
Yeah, no, that's just people they're like legit good. Except for the fact that for some reason, Aaron Yeager's sister is his girlfriend in the movie version, which I'm like, okay,
So
let's go with that.
wasn't you mean the like Masaka or whatever, the black-haired chick?
Yeah.
I didn't think they're. I
There
thought
you
they
go.
weren't actually blood related anyway.
Well, they're fucking.
Oh, okay,
so
whatever.
it
Doesn't matter. Kissing cousins. Who gives a shit?
Doesn't matter. Yeah,
That's Japan, you know.
I'm down for that.
They don't frown on that stuff
That's
like America
that
does.
on the level of weird shit that comes out of Japan. That's like not high.
That's vanilla ice cream.
So because of that, I thought this was gonna be all right, and I stayed the fuck away from that the take a potato chip and eat it. What's that called? Death Note. I stayed
That
the
one.
fuck away from the Netflix Death Note. So I don't even want to know
Dude,
how bad it
You
was.
don't even
what?
want to know.
How fucked would it be if Sonic Hedgehog, the live-action movie, won an Oscar for best film?
You know, I guess it would be just desserts. I mean, they can't make video
Game
games for
of the
shit,
year.
so I mean, you might as well try your hand at fucking
What
movies,
if
right?
it's what if it's based on Sonic 2006? What if it's just based on?
They
Sonic
didn't-
Well, when
06?
you showed up, the movie wouldn't fucking start. That's what would happen if they made it based on Sonic 06.
Actually, I wouldn't have a problem with that because Sonic 06 didn't even have a story, so they'd have to write one anyway. So.
I kind of had a story. I mean, it tried.
Yeah, you had to look for the
Kill
captain
Silver.
who-
No one can kill Silver. Fuck.
The story was just trying to figure out how the fucking camera worked. Just trying to make it point at something.
Alright, I can't talk about this anymore. So, on less depressing news, I got some stuff. I got 2 early access codes for 2 different games that are not supposed to be launched for a while now. First was Dauntless. I got early access to that. And
Spread the
It's-
wealth, motherfucker.
it's good. It's that, so Dauntless was that what's the name? A Monster Hunter clone that they were gonna come out for. It's free to play, and it has the same problems that every free to play game has. You buy loot boxes and you get stuff out of loot boxes.
Oh,
Great.
Why couldn't they just do Warframe style? I mean, that would have been perfect
Yeah.
for a fucking Monster Hunter game because of the grind involved. I mean, it would have been perfect for it.
Isn't Ryu from Street Fighter a playable character in Monster Hunter?
I'm
Like-
not sure.
Yeah, he's an unlockable character in Monster Hunter, which I
That-
thought was just insane. I mean, they're both Capcom
If that's
games,
the
right?
case, then
But I'm down for that. I'm
Yes.
down for hunting monsters as fucking Ryu and Akuma.
So, and that's fine. That's Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Buy Monster Hunter on PC when it comes out. Do that shit.
Yeah.
Dauntless,
August.
download it, but you're not expecting like a Monster Hunter level type of fun. It has probably 6 or 7 different types of monsters that you can fight compared to Monster Hunter's like 150. And 5 different weapon types. You can have an axe, a chain blades, hammer, sword, or warpike. They're fun. They have their own thing and special moves and stuff like that. But overall, not great.
Question.
Okay,
Is it an alpha build or is it a beta build?
beta.
Because that, I mean, it makes a big difference. Because I mean, the game I talked about last time, Inquisitor Martyr, that's an alpha build. You expect that to just not function.
So
sometimes.
it's
a beta build. You'd expect a little bit more out of it. in a
So
beta
that's
build.
the difference.
Yeah.
It functions. It's like
Mhm.
mechanically fine, and it's polished. Beautiful world. It looks great. Just the mechanics that they thought of weren't very good, and they put a lot of work into it. Seems like, but I would have expected a little less work on like the scenery and more work on. Oh, now I have at least 50 monsters that I can hunt and fight. And it's all instanced combat, so you go into a world, it's not open world like Monster Hunter is. It's kind of like Monster Hunter Light, if you want to go with that. I don't know.
I mean, since it's a free-to-play game and it'll probably be around for a little while, I mean, there's definitely a chance for improvement because a lot of the free-to-play games
Yeah.
like that definitely have chances to improve. So especially since it's a beta build, I mean, they might have more things and ready to go, but they just haven't released it with the current beta build of the game.
Yeah.
But
We'll see how it goes.
You can't really know until it actually releases. That's the thing with early access games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially free-to-play games don't really ever finish releasing,
like
because they have to always put out new content, otherwise they won't make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what was League of Legends, the original cast of characters in the very first beta build of the game was like what, 10, 15 characters?
I think it was
some
only
shit
10.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like super
now we're
super
at
small
almost
character
200
pool.
now.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. So I mean, there's room for improvement. There's a chance. The game has a chance. I feel like it has a chance, maybe. Not really my cup of tea, but
I guess my warning about it is if you're gonna go out and download it when it releases, maybe wait to spend money on loot boxes before you actually know you like it or not. That's kind of the same with all games like Overwatch
don't drop a shit ton of money.
Yeah, really.
If you want to actually spend a shit ton of money on it. Know what you're spending your money on.
Yeah, I guess that's my warning. The second game is a lot more interesting. Vermintide 2. I got early access to. And they have a non-disclosure statement. I can't talk about it a whole lot, or they'll shut down whatever they want. But it's polished. It takes a lot from the last game, and just builds on it and improves it. It's a lot of fun. They add another class. Can't really talk about it. I'm excited for its full release, and I'm excited to play it some more. It's very good.
And in case anybody's wondering, the first Vermintide was a co-op style, Left 4 Dead style game where you basically fight the Skaven from the Warhammer universe.
Which, if you're not familiar, Skaven are just giant rat people.
Yeah. It's a shit ton of fun. The first one was a shit ton of fun. A very well made game. And so I'm actually looking forward to trying out the next one when it actually releases.
Yeah.
Myself.
So thank you, Fat Shark, for giving me early access to that, and I'm excited to see what they release. Yeah, very good.
Shout out to Fat Shark. So,
another gaming.
Anyone?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead. No, my bad. That was my bad.
Go ahead. Anyone.
All right. I played.
Dunn was gonna
bought,
go in and I fucked it up.
Yeah. God fucking damn it.
You dickhead.
God damn it, head. So I bought Kingdom Come Deliverance, and if you don't know what Kingdom Come Deliverance is, it's a open world RPG, hyper realistic, kind of thing. It's based in medieval Europe during, I believe, the 14th century, I believe is the time period. It's basically a civil war between, civil war in the Holy Roman Empire, which was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire, but you play as a blacksmith's son, and spoiler alert, your entire family gets murdered, and all your friends all get murdered, and you're basically left on a journey to find this final sword that you made and give it to your liege and whatnot. So the main appeal to the game is the hyper-realism, and I would say it exceeds the hyper-realism. I mean, the features in the game include no save points, really. You get a checkpoint at the beginning of every mission, and then after that you'll get
What's the name
3
of this game again?
saves. Kingdom Come Deliverance. It just released a couple of days ago, or about a week ago. About a week ago. And you get 3 saves that you get to hold on to, but the saves come in the form of alcoholic drinks, which you get tipsy off of, and you can get addicted to. So yes, you can get addicted to saving. They also cost you money in game, like the in game, not like purchasing like loot box money, but like so it does cost you quite a bit to use them. Now there are mods to fix that particular thing, and I'll get into that.
Oh, you're about to go against a very shitty boss? 99 cents. Come on.
Yeah, no, none of that. None of that shit. The combat is supposed to be based on real historical sword fighting and spear fighting and all that stuff.
Okay.
There's in most games, especially RPG games, when it comes to like things like armor, you've got like your headpiece, your chest piece, you got arms, gloves, maybe pants, that sort of thing. This is a full, comprehensive, layered armor system where there's 16 individual pieces of armor and equipment that you can attach to yourself. So they try and succeed that super realistic thing.
Okay.
The combat itself, the gameplay, I felt like it was really kind of clunky. And I don't know if that was my problem or if the game itself was clunky because of the way it introduces the combat to you. So when you first start out, you know literally nothing. It doesn't tell you how to really play the game. You just it gives you, okay, this is how you attack, and that's about it. It doesn't tell you how to block even at the beginning of the game. You don't know how to block. You don't know how to sidestep. You don't know how to parry. You don't know how to do fucking anything. You don't know how to read. You don't know how to pick locks. You don't know any of that shit in real life either. So that you could
exactly,
and that's where that's where the hyper realism kind of comes in, right? But it constantly seems to want to throw you into these situations where you need to fight, and you need to pick locks, and you need to know how to do all these things, but the game doesn't tell you how to do that very well. It doesn't actually give you a comprehensive...
could be a part of that, but okay, this is Warhorse's first game. Alright, so it's the first game they've ever developed, it's the first game they've ever released. So yeah, it's gonna be a little...
And a lot of people like that whole figuring things out thing, you know?
I'm all for it.
It can be fun, but when you don't actually get a comprehensive understanding of how the combat system works until you're about 6 hours into the game, that's a bit of a problem considering you fight anywhere between 10 to 20 enemies on your way to that point. So, and you don't get told how to even, like, you don't get told how to block. You don't know how to fucking block until you get 6 hours into the fucking game.
So you kind of...
That's a little...
It is shitty.
That seems like an oversight.
It seems a little shitty.
A little.
But you go into the forest and you fuck up some rabbits until you figure it out.
You don't, though.
You can't grind? There's no grind?
Though you can grind, but that comes to the other problem I have with the game, and that's the pacing of the game. So another part of the hyper-realism, which, again, I'm not saying that this is either bad nor good. I'm just saying I personally felt very frustrated with this system. But the pacing of the game has it so that things will happen with or without you. So if, say, you start a quest and you wait a day, everybody will go about their business as if you just didn't fucking show up. So if, say, you need to go and find a dude out in the forest before he gets ran down by a gang of bandits, right? It's not like in most RPGs where you go and you show up and then the bandits show up a little bit later, regardless of how long you took to get to that point. No, if you wait too long, they'll just show up and fucking kill the dude. And then you'll just fail the quest. Which, I mean, sure, hyper-realism, it makes sense. But it makes it so that you can't stop what you're doing once you start doing it, right? So once you start the main storyline, I've played 10 hours. I have not gotten to a point in the game in 10 hours of playing where I could stop what I was doing and go do a side quest.
Yeah.
At all. There's a ton of side quests. I have like 10 active right now. I have not had the opportunity to do so. I feel like I have to continue playing otherwise I will miss certain things that happen. That the fucking story will just continue without me. That it's not going to stop. I don't have time to go and explore the forest. I have to go do every single thing that they tell me to.
That's confusing. So
I don't have time to go practice my sword. Yeah, it just keeps going. No, it like everything just keeps happening without you. Regardless
of real time.
Pretty much.
That's fucking amazing.
It's fucking amazing.
Holy shit.
But from a gameplay perspective, it's really, really frustrating. Because you want to learn how to do the combat, right? Because it's not inherently natural to you. You want to practice how to do that. So you can go to like practice sites, right, and practice how to do that, or practice your archery, you know, train like that, so you can actually, as a player, figure out how to play the game. But you don't feel like you have the time to do that because the quest keeps pushing you on to keep doing more things. Again, I haven't played more than 10 hours of it, so there could be a point where you are free to go and do other side quests. I might be right at that point. I don't know. I just was so fucking frustrated with the game overall that I just didn't feel like picking it up after playing it for the first day. I mean, I played it for 10 hours on the first day. Yeah. I don't know if I was playing it because I was having fun or if I was playing it out of spite.
Fuck this
I really don't.
Out of a good game.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying I don't know if it's for me.
I can definitely see the problems you have with that, especially that whole thing where the story just keeps on going. That's like one of those things that sounds like an incredible, amazing idea, and I've always wanted a game like that. But like you said, you can miss out on everything if you go and fuck off and explore for a while, which is one of the biggest parts of
I mean,
playing
the map is
an
huge.
RPG or something.
There's
like
tons of different towns, and the fucking map, I might add, the graphics and whatnot, absolutely gorgeous. Just gorgeous, especially for a developer that's never developed a game like this. It is fantastically built. Like, it looks amazing.
So do you think it's because
they might
have like named people who worked on other games in their roster of people developing? Do you know?
I don't know. I know that it is a Kickstarter game, and it's been in the works for a while. But other than that, I don't really know how the game was made particularly. I was drawn to it because it's, you know, it's an RPG based in medieval times that seemed fairly realistic, and I thought I liked those kind of things. It just feels like it was tipped a little bit too far in the realism chamber for me. That it's to the point where I feel like the gameplay suffers a little bit, at least in my opinion and for my personal taste. The game overall has received raving reviews. Like, it's mostly positive on Steam. It has gotten great reviews all across the board. It does things that no other game you've ever played has done. It's a little too realistic. I want to be able to go fuck off and kill bandits when I want to. I want to go start a side quest and see if I can finish it. That's another thing.
Yeah, so just to answer Dave's question real quick, apparently the founder, Daniel Vavra, and Martin Klima, who are the two founders, have worked before on Codemasters.
Oh, they worked in 2K?
Games and 2K, which are all very big game developing companies, so they do have a lot of experience. Also, 2K and Codemasters, so they have.
I knew it was quite a long time. I didn't know.
And also, the game was under development for 6 years, which is a long fucking time to polish it.
So they are veterans in the
6
in the scheme.
So
you know.
I don't necessarily think that they're problems. I think that a lot of it
why
is actually
all
intended.
These problems ahead of time.
I don't know if it's a personal thing, if I'm just being biased, or if it's actually not good gameplay mechanics. I couldn't tell you for sure. I just know.
For me, it's like
I didn't enjoy it that much.
That whole story thing is like when you're watching a movie that was recorded on a 360-degree camera, you know, where you can move the video around, and kind of like they're just filming the entire area, and you're watching a movie like that, and you never know if you should be looking at the characters and what's going on, or if you should just be looking around. Have you guys tried those 360-degree videos?
I have.
You know what I'm talking about?
Never tried them.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're never
I get
quite
the
sure what you're supposed to be looking at, and you end up most of the time just looking at the completely wrong
So
thing.
they have 360-degree pictures that I like to scroll through sometimes, and I remember one of them. It was like a serene background, and it was like a mountainscape, and it was really good. And you look all around, you can see all the mountains. If you look down, it says "fuck you."
Yeah, I've seen that.
That was probably one of my favorite
You gotta
ones.
put something at the bottom at the top, because that's where the edges meet. So.
Just
on a continuation of everything happens without you, that includes side quests as well, which actually adds a lot of replayability, because say you do 2 or 3 side quests in a town, right? You do those ones, you have fun, you enjoy the experience. The other side quests that are in that town may have gone away because they already happened. They happened without you. You were busy doing other things. They happened without you. So for replayability, you go back and you play it again. You make different decisions. You talk to different people. You get to experience an entirely different set of the game through that.
That's a very good point.
There's benefits to doing this for their system. There is benefits. There's obvious. There's an obvious, like, ingenious to it almost, right? But I feel like the pacing of the game is off. I feel like there needs to be a point earlier in the game where you can kind of just fuck off and do whatever you want, where you have been given the basics of what you need to do, how to use the different kinds of weapons, because they do kind of teach you a little bit here and there about how to do that about 4 or 5 hours in. But they give you some of the basic groundwork, and then they say, okay, here, you're off on your own path now, but you're not missing out on the main story at all. You're not missing out on anything super important. Things will happen without you, but you have a little bit of control. You don't feel like once you get on this roller coaster, you can't get off. That's how it feels. It feels like once you get on, you can't get off. You have to just keep playing.
I'm not a big fan of roller coasters anyway, so I think I won't buy this fucking game.
That, aside from the slightly frustrating combat, which again, I might be just because I'm terrible at it, and some of the other little nitpicky things, that's really the thing that kills it for me, I think, is the pacing.
Yeah.
I'm 10 hours in, and I haven't gotten to a point where I could play a side quest yet. I don't think that's acceptable. I don't think that's acceptable at all. But yeah. Game is, again, game is called Kingdom Come Deliverance. It is currently $60 on Steam. If you really like the things that I said and you think that, hey, those might be good things, then pick it up. You might have fun with it.
Yeah.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
It does look amazing, so give it a try. Why not?
All right.
Support the industry, bitches.
Support Kickstarter games. Just not the bad ones.
No. Go. Kickstarter games are cancer.
All right, Heb.
Yeah.
What you got, motherfucker?
What I got is the 21st DICE Award winners. Did any of you watch that shit? No, nobody watches that shit. You just find out about it after the fact.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't even find out about it after the fact.
It's award season. The Oscars happened. The
did they?
Grammys happened. The whole fucking thing
really?
happened. Yeah, they always happen.
Dave actually looked concerned. He's like, oh, that should happen.
Oh, wait, no. I knew that they happened because there was a huge backlash about them, like always. And I heard about that. That's right.
Well, it's probably the fucking feminist freaking out about
I have no idea.
About something. But anyway, the game, I just want to gloss over the game of the year for, I think these were the 2017 game of the years, according to the DICE Awards, which are currently the biggest award in gaming. So, game of the year #1, Cuphead, obviously.
That makes sense.
Cuphead actually got like 5 different awards in like 5 categories. We got 4 Horizon Zero Dawn, another great game.
I heard that was good.
PlayerUnknown's Battleground, obviously. There's no question.
I mean, it's popular.
Yeah. but it's cancer.
Yeah, but the thing is, it has such a large following of
So,
cancer.
question: Is it based on professional opinions, professional votes, or is like industry votes, or is it like public opinion, like popular vote?
I'm just looking at the list. I'm pretty sure it's public opinion because the #1 game of the year was Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. So, just based on Cuphead and Breath of the Wild being the 2 best games, I'm gonna say it's public opinion.
I'd say Warframe was probably the best game of the year, and it
No.
came out
You didn't
2013.
vote, you didn't vote.
Just saying. I had the most fun playing that game.
You had the most fun playing that game. I played it for an hour, hated it.
It's because you played it for an hour.
Probably.
You gotta really get into the grind.
I already have other things that I'm grinding out. I'm good. I'm good. I'm a level 41
well, you don't want to wait 3
botanist
days.
in Final Fantasy, so I'm good.
You
I'm fine.
don't want to grind for 3 days straight?
Nope.
To get one thing?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Why not?
Because I already do that. I already do that. So whatever. So yeah, DICE Awards.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, and they gave a Lifetime Achievement Award to the creator of the GameCube and the Nintendo 64, Genyo Takeda. So I think that's pretty well deserved.
Yeah.
I think the GameCube is the best console ever, and it has a fucking handle, so it was a portable console before portable consoles were a thing.
You still have to plug it into a wall outlet, you
But
fuck.
it has a hand, okay? You can carry that bitch around. So that was nice. I mean, it's good to see the people that make the hardware get some recognition because we forget about them a lot of the time. Like we wouldn't have games.
Yeah,
we
can
didn't
anyone
have.
name the asshole who made the Xbox? Like the actual designer of the Xbox?
I think that was Steve Jobs actually. I think it was literally Steve Jobs that designed the Xbox and then sold it off to Microsoft. I may be completely wrong about that.
I hope you're wrong. Fact checkers, get him. Fuck him.
Somebody fucking...
Why the fuck would Steve
What do you
Jobs
have against Steve Jobs?
He sold it and then got pancreatic cancer.
Why would he sell it to his fucking competitor? That makes no fucking sense.
They're not
whatsoever.
competitors. They are not competitors.
They thought they were back in fucking 2000 something.
Windows 10 was programmed entirely on Macs. Just to give you an idea of how much they're not competitors.
We're not talking about
Halo, the biggest Microsoft game, was developed by Apple, and then it was sold to Ubisoft very late in its development. So they are not competitors at all. They're the 2 richest fucking companies. They're just milking us.
Halo was an Ubisoft game. Are you fucking stupid? I'm sorry, what?
Do you mean Bungie?
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck Ubisoft. Yeah, I meant Bungie. That's what I meant.
Okay.
I got that mixed up.
Okay.
Dude, no. You're wrong. You're 100% wrong.
No, but it was developed by Apple, so... It's not even a Bungie game.
No, so, alright. You're fucked right now. So, 2 guys who worked on the Apple II and the Apple Macintosh left Apple to make the game. It wasn't developed by Apple. You fucking cuck.
It's close enough.
It's not close enough. It's completely different.
That's practically the whole research department. It's just 2 fucking guys.
Dude.
Alright, I was wrong about that.
Yeah, you were. Get your facts right.
Fine.
Just holing it out your ass, man.
Yeah, I usually have like a script up here to the side, but I pulled that one out my ass, so I won't be doing that again.
Oh, Christ.
Something I didn't pull out my ass, but the creators definitely did, is the Fable franchise is getting a new game, and it's
Really?
a fucking free-to-play card game. So, yet another Hearthstone set in the Albion
Or
universe.
the Dota one.
Dude.
They're making that Dota game too.
Dude, you just crushed my
Is it
spirit.
sitting in Ventrilo?
I was like,
Every
I love
single
Fable
major
3.
franchise is getting a card.
Fable 3 was great. Card
Yeah, it's
game.
called Fable Fortune, and I won't be playing it. So there's that.
I mean, hi.
Done
And,
is gonna
and
obsess
Liam
over
here
it for about a month.
will get us a
then
review
forget about it.
once it's out.
Don't make me
Dude.
play this. I don't want this.
You just said you wanted to. You just said you wanted to. Dude.
He doesn't want
fucking
to.
kill
He
me.
just can't help it.
I will. I'll spend $400 on card packs. I'm a sick fuck.
Dude.
Yeah.
I can't.
So-
See the
that was a bit
disgust
of
on
bad news.
Dave's face, right?
I hate you.
It's okay. I hate me too. It's okay.
So,
Yeah. There is another thing I got here. This is actually good news.
Oh,
Dude,
really?
Wait,
Some
wait,
people.
wait, wait.
As
wait.
opposed,
Sonic was not good news? The Fable card game wasn't good news?
I'm
Szechuan
gonna-
sauce was not good news?
No.
Who are you?
No.
oh,
Sonic live action movie is not good news.
I'm dying.
That is literally the Antichrist.
Oh, the inside.
Every day we stray further from God's light.
Alright. Alright.
If there's still
so,
a god, he's now dead.
Here's the thing, okay? Blizzard once again proving that they are the best video game company out there currently making games, has for the first time since 2002 released an update for Warcraft 3.
Dude, I saw that.
Just last night. Nobody saw it coming. They never announced it. Just release a patch. They fixed a bunch of issues that had always been, plaguing the Warcraft 3 community. They upgraded everything from they even added a new auto updater, suggesting that they'll be releasing way more updates. And the reason they did this after 16 years of inactivity, of just abandoning the game, and of course it was then taken over by the Dota community, right? But they're doing it because there's going to be an upcoming Warcraft 3 tournament, right? So I guess they're kind of trying to fix some of the issues so that they don't come up during the tournament.
From what
and
I'm
just
seeing
make it
here,
more
dude,
compatible.
it's not just an auto updater. They're bringing PTR back.
No. It's a huge.
I mean, if PTR's coming
And-
back, then that's guaranteed more patches.
Yeah, it basically guarantees more patches. And some people are even saying that the reason they did it is in preparation for an HD remaster of the game.
Oh.
Kind of like how they did with StarCraft. So they might just re-release it in fucking HD, which I'm all for, because Warcraft has a very interesting lore and story.
And it's a fun game.
It would be great
If
to,
people are confused,
yeah.
PTR is the public test realm, which is how Bungie releases its future updates to a small group of people for testing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You mean Blizzard?
Not Bungie. Yeah,
Yeah.
Blizzard. Fuck me.
And they added support for widescreen.
Woo. Finally.
Well, I mean,
All
of the fucking.
Well, I mean,
it
that
was
means you can play it in
formatted for
HD now. That means you
square
can play it in
screen.
4K.
Because all
Yeah.
the fucking monitors
that
were
means-
square
That's a huge thing.
back in the day.
Back in the D.
Kids back
So
in
there
the
you
day. Back in my day.
Back in my day, I'll tell you what.
All right. So, next topic of discussion.
Lay it down on us.
I wasn't going to talk about esports, but I'm going to talk about esports. thing I want the thing I want to talk about in esports is performance-enhancing drugs. What would constitute performance-enhancing drugs in esports, and should they be banned? I mean, in the athletic community, there is very, very strict rules, depending on what sports and what you're doing.
Michael Phelps won like a shitload of gold medals smoking weed. He should have gotten more gold medals.
Pot is not a
That's
performance.
What I'm saying.
It's not a performance-enhancing drug. It's a performance-destroying drug.
Yeah, he should have gotten more medals.
The fact that he got up off his couch, the balls on that man. I can't believe Lance Armstrong had to give back his 7 Tour de France wins because he came back positive for THC. You know, he was using weed as well.
Wait, that was all that was in his system? I thought it was like steroids too.
No, and the guy had cancer. Weed is a very acceptable treatment for pain relief.
Yeah, he lost a ball
from chemotherapy. They chopped the man's ball off, and then they took away his titles because he smoked a joint. I can't believe this. And that is a huge point with esports, right? Because a lot of esports players, let's be honest, are autistic. Let's just be honest. They got HDAD.
We don't know this guy.
They got OCD.
I don't know how he got here.
Dude.
They're premature and they're autistic. They need Adderall. They need Xanax.
What?
They need all these drugs. And they're gonna try and ban them from esports and get these people disqualified for taking medicine that they need to perform normally.
So, are you saying the reason why
situation?
Are you saying the reason why Asians are so good at playing video games is because they're more autistic than the North Americans?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly the reason.
Oh.
Undoubtedly.
God.
These are just facts.
Oh my god. I love this moment.
It has always been known that autistic people have certain skills, like related to math. Okay, they're more into science. They're more into mechanical things, and less into talking to you. And they, so they shake up and down a little bit. They gotta take some Adderall to stop the nodding.
Right.
And now they're gonna disqualify them from esports. I'm not trying to insult anyone.
ADHD and autism mixed up really badly.
Well, okay, but autism medications are also considered brain-enhancing medications that wouldn't be allowed. Let me just read you a list of the things that aren't allowed in competition in esports. You can't have at any point in time.
It also depends.
Hormone treatments. Okay.
Oh.
So if you're in the middle of a sex change, if you're a transgender and you're playing video games, no, you can't do that. You can't have taken. That also applies to steroids, obviously. But who in the hell takes steroids to play video games, right?
The LGBTQDTFCFTT
No, they're disqualified.
Can't fucking play.
The BBQABCDFG are completely disqualified.
What?
No BBQ in
BBQ.
BBC. No BB.
Cannabinoids, obviously. So if you have cancer, if you're in the middle of chemotherapy, you need a little THC, a little CBD to not be in constant fucking pain. You can't participate.
He hijacked your story, Liam.
Glucocorticoids. No, but here's the thing. Glucocorticoids, that's heart medication. If you have a heart problem and you need to take some medication to slow down your heart rate or speed it up or change it somehow, you can't participate
if you take that shit, don't log on to League. Fuck you.
Booze.
Get over it.
booze. You can't drink booze and play
So I don't
esports.
think that's because it's a performance-enhancing drug. I think it's because everyone, like, on stage would be yelling at each other and punching each other in the face as soon as they lost.
Hey, have you ever seen a Call of Duty fucking tournament?
Yeah. They don't.
Just saying.
God.
The roids and the alcohol, man.
They're just a bunch of bros who are fucking around.
They are. They really are.
Yeah.
God. So, fuck you, Heb. You can have your story back, Liam.
Oh, yeah, and crocodile is also banned. So,
Crocodile?
Of course it will. It's a.
yeah,
Yeah, you don't want to know. That shit is.
it's heroin mixed with gasoline is what it is.
What?
It's very popular in Russia.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Where can I get some?
Russian.
In America, I mean.
Russia. Go to Little
probably just be
Odessa.
able to go down the street.
That's
Where's
them.
it?
Go find the shittiest neighborhood.
New York.
Go find the shittiest neighborhood you possibly can find, and then go look for some scum-ass looking dude in a fucking black hoodie on the corner.
Walk up to the
someplace.
12-year-old with like the snot dripping down his nose and just be like, yo, man.
You'll be like,
Get
what's
me
up,
some
motherfucker?
coffee."
Alright, so you can have your
Anyways.
story back, Liam.
Can I have my story
Well,
back? Can I?
Yeah,
Please?
so that's my take on it. I think it's
I
completely
can't have
unfair
it.
because
I
a lot of
I
people,
can't have it.
a lot of people that participate in esports have problems, mental problems, and they need mental enhancing medications. So, back to you, Liam.
You just fucking stereotype the entire esports community as being mentally unhealthy.
I don't think that should be
I want to get that close. That
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
okay.
That's exactly what's going on here.
Okay. I wanted to clarify
Prove me wrong.
before we move on. No, you not I'm not gonna touch that. So
Oh, it was good, though.
What?
It was good.
so I it's up for debate what is and what isn't a performance enhancing drug, right? Obviously some things are, like if you're playing traditional sports, things like steroids, things like blood doping obviously will give you an unfair advantage. But the real question is what is wrong with performance enhancing drugs? Because we use them in one form or another that are perfectly acceptable. In esports, I would argue that caffeine is a performance enhancing drug.
Yeah.
Because it is a drug,
Absolutely.
it's a chemical that increases your alertness and your focus and all sorts of other things it does for you. And you see fucking esports people chugging caffeine like crazy. You see people in regular sports taking protein shakes and all sorts of other supplements and things of that nature. And that's all perfectly okay. So what exactly is the line, right? You could say, well, steroids and blood doping, that's not okay, right? That's too far. But blood doping, you're literally just using your own blood to increase your blood oxygen level. So that's not necessarily unhealthy. It's not necessarily, unnatural. It's not chemical. Why is that not okay, right? So it's been brought up a couple of times in a few different esports, what is and what isn't okay. Things that have been pretty much relegated to not okay are things like Adderall, right? You can't be on
Yeah, that's the
Adderall
big
and
one.
play. That's the big one. Some games, they don't test for it. A lot of games, they don't test for it. Some games, they do. I believe Counter-Strike now, within the last year, has been heavily testing for things of that nature. But there are others that are on the market right now, like nootropics. Nootropics are natural chemicals that you can buy from a variety of different sites, but they boost brain activity in certain areas depending on what chemical you take. And most of these chemicals are plant-based and are completely natural and completely healthy to take in small doses and the doses that are given, and they're perfectly fine. But in some esports, it's not okay to take them. And others, they don't care. So, because esports is kind of a burgeoning, thing right now, um, it's growing exponentially, and it's just going to continue to grow exponentially. There's going to be more regulations on it. You can see Riot Games is a very clear example of regulation. We talked about it a little bit last time of the zero tolerance for any kind of harassment, even if it seems a bit ridiculous of the punishments that they give out. But the question is, should there be, if we're going to continue in this fashion, should there be like a standard, like certain things are not okay and certain things are clearly are okay? Because I mean, we don't even really have that in sports. In some sports, they just don't test for it. So even though they say it's not okay, they don't test for it, and you wouldn't know. Either way, like
they do have it. It's the World Anti-Doping Agency. But if certain, like let's say if the UFC, for example, decides to look the other way when some guy is obviously on steroids, then that's that's up to them. That's just in-house politics. But there definitely is like a standard of what is and isn't acceptable.
So the question is, should esports be put into that kind of
Should the same scrutiny be put towards esports as
I think absolutely not. I think it should absolutely not. Because of the points that I've already brought up that seem to have offended you.
It wasn't the points you made, it was when you made them. You thief.
But okay, for example, when I used to play a lot of PvP games and like Rumble Fighter or obviously World of Warcraft has a huge PvP aspect to it with the battlegrounds and the all of that and world battles and all of that. I could not do PvP without a joint in my mouth. I just constantly had to have a joint lit, and I would play as I inhaled this joint and maybe even drank a beer.
you are
got
so fucking
something inhaling for you,
dude.
Yeah. Well, so that's a performance-enhancing drug. It's actually, cannabinoids are listed as a performance-enhancing drug.
So I would sit here with this joint in my mouth, and I would smoke this joint as I smoke this joint.
Just playing World of Warcraft, yeah. And I think that should absolutely be allowed. I mean, sure, does it put you into a different state of mind? Not necessarily. It just sort of... It might numb your body a bit. It might change your focus a bit. But it's not like, for example, like if you're fighting, right? Let's say you're a boxer and you're injecting some sort of you're doping on steroids. You're literally making yourself stronger and bulkier, and you are then putting another life in danger because you're going to be throwing punches at a motherfucker. You're going to be tackling a motherfucker if you're playing football. So you're literally putting other lives at risk. And I can understand that there should be scrutiny in that respect. But if you're playing video games and the point is to slow time down and focus on what you're doing and respond robotically in ways that are, superhuman, then you should absolutely be allowed to do whatever might help you to do that, as long as it's not hurting the other players. And definitely when you're playing esports, you're not tackling a motherfucker. You might...
That would make things a little more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, but you're raping them, but online. So it's okay.
Online rape is okay. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks.
So anyways, what do you think about performance enhancing drugs in esports, Dave?
I have no opinion, actually. I think it's dumb. That this is topic that people have to piss and moan about. Ah, he's on Adderall. Fuck that guy. That's the reason he's better than me. No, he's better than you because he's better than you. Stop being a giant bitch.
See, I'm more of in the middle
Yeah,
ground.
you need to get good.
Where I think that there are definitely substances that do give you an unfair advantage over your, over other
And you
players.
do have some experience with that, don't you?
I have a little experience with that. I have actually tried nootropics, the Rise from HMV, and it definitely helps with playing video games. It helps with focus, with mental fatigue, memory to some extent. But in other ways, it doesn't help you. Things like multitasking became much more difficult. But I mean, if you're just sitting, just trying to focus on, especially like a first-person shooter or something like League of Legends, something where you're really focused on what you're doing, then yeah, you definitely see a improvement past what your natural, your natural learning curve would be. But other things like weed, right, marijuana, and other drugs of that nature, I don't see why you would need to ban those things, because they're not necessarily used for gaming, right? They don't give you an unfair advantage over your opponent.
They just make me sleepy.
Those things are, a lot of times it makes you, it's got medical benefits in a lot of cases. If you're doing it legally in the state that you live in or in the country that you live in, I don't think it should be illegal, right? Like, if you take Adderall and you're not prescribed Adderall, then you're taking an illegal substance, pretty much no matter where you are. And it gives you an unfair advantage over your opponent. It really does.
Yeah.
But if you're smoking pot, I just don't see the problem with that. I don't see banning or
in anything,
giving
really.
any kind of...
It's not just
or
esports.
any kind of repercussions for something like those, something of that nature.
In states where people are prescribed medical marijuana.
And I'm not just talking just about weed.
legitimate.
I mean, you mentioned other things like, heart medicine and certain other medicines like that you can't take. Like alcohol. You can't have alcohol in your system. Well, who gives a shit if you're fucking drunk off your ass? I mean, that's your performance is going to suffer if you're drunk off your ass and you're trying to play Counter-Strike. You're not going to do as well. I guarantee it. You're probably not going to do as well, especially if you're a professional player. And so what does it matter? What does it matter? What is it hurting? I mean, you're hurting yourself at that point, right? It should be up to the player's decision for some of those things. It shouldn't be an overarching, if you get caught doing this, then you'll never fucking play esports ever again. I think that's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we should have a separate... I don't like the term esports at all. I never did. Because it suggests that, and I'm going to piss off a lot of people here, that electronic sports are just like physical sports. Now, I know most people wouldn't put chess and, let's say, basketball in the same category, even though they're both sports. I don't think we should do the same for video games either. I mean, it's a skill that involves a lot of technical thinking. It's definitely a mental sport. But I don't think sports leagues, like, for example, now that they're going to be in the Olympics, I don't think the Olympic committee should really try and apply the same sort of rules to esport gamers as they do to, like, all the other athletes.
It depends, though, because in the Olympics, things like basketball, you can have professional players. Things like hockey, you can have professional players. Soccer, you can have professional players. But boxing, you can't have professional boxers box in the Olympics. They have to be amateur boxers because of the rule set. They're not allowed to have professional boxers. So you'll never see the best boxers in the world box against each other in the Olympics. You'll never see it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a weird subject, and hopefully somebody smarter than us will figure it out.
No, hopefully people will have common sense about it. And,
What would you call
they
it
don't-
other than esports, Eb? What would you call it? Just curious.
I would just what they were calling it before, just video game competition, competitive gaming.
I like competitive gaming.
Yeah, it's just competitive.
I think
gaming.
it's a little more dignified than esports.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
esports is kind of one of those catch-all terms that you would see normies using on Reddit
Yeah.
or some shit.
Esports. See, the first time I heard esports, I thought, oh, it's competitive vaping. That's what they mean. Turns out it was gaming. So yeah,
Vaping. How do you even do that? Done. How do you
ask
do that?
Done. Done, demonstrate for us. Who's the Idaho state champion? Idaho state champion competitive vapor, 2017, right here.
You just killed him.
He came in first play at the Moscow Championships.
Well, that's an hour, man. That is an hour.
That is
Yeah,
an hour.
I think we're good.
Yeah. Well,
All right, guys.
yeah, good shit. Thank you for joining us again. We're gonna do that again. That was cool.
Thank you for sticking through. Don't get pissed off at me for calling these sports people autists. I meant it in the best way possible.
And check out the other podcasts. They're good.
Yeah. Stay tuned for episode 4 coming in 2 weeks, and me
some
and Dunn
point.
and Dave are
Fuck
going to
you.
start actually literally shit posting on this channel soon.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for short little fun videos that we're going to be posting there in between episodes. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed.
And have a good one.